2 of the MMA Outsiders. That was fast and furious, going from one show to another. So thanks for sticking along for the ride. Hey, Jack, how are you? Fresh off your Las Vegas trip. I guess we could start light and easy this week, just considering how busy we both were, and just wanted to quickly apologize to anyone that was expecting a Tuesday episode this past week. We will be better moving forward. We promise.
That was no blame on Zan. That was totally my bad. I was supposed to be ready for the episode. I had something come up that I had to let Zan and Nick know. I was like, I gotta do it. It once in a lifetime, and it was. And thank you guys for allowing me to do it.
No,
But
of course. I would have. Hey, if it would have been me and I was in a similar situation, I would have done. I would have done the same thing. So,
but I'm sure you can look at me. The hair, I'm all raggedy. I woke up at about noon today. Like I am taking it slow. I landed at 8:55 last night and sat on the tarmac until 11:45.
geez, dude, I didn't realize you were in town all the way until yesterday. I'd figured you were home already.
No, I
Wow.
got home. I pulled into my driveway at 12:30 last night.
Jeez. Okay.
But
Okay.
no, it was awesome. And a couple things I want to say off the bat. UFC 320 the last 7 fights of the night. Those are the last 7 fights in a row in the year. That's the best 7-fight streak we've had. Second, I'm going back to Vegas at the end of this month, Zan. I have been asked by Tough Enough to come and cover their show on October 25th at the Palms. 2 titles, maybe 3, with Kenny Cross fighting for the lightweight title.
It's awesome, and it's great to see that you're going to continue to follow Kenny Cross's career. That's awesome. Obviously, you started your journey along with me about a year and days ago, when he fought for XFC. So to see him move over to Tough Enough, and for you to be able to cover that, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah.
No, it was incredible. It was very nice. Thank you to Tough Enough for reaching out. That was a little bit of a surreal thing to wake up to, and I'm very excited. Going back to Vegas, I'm not so excited for. I love Vegas, but I had enough. You know what I mean?
Hey, I don't blame you. Well, I guess I don't know if you have any additional plans, but as you know, there is there is there is an Apex event at Saturday to keep you busy. So if you want to go, if you want to go 2 for 1, you might be able to.
Ooh, that Saturday that I will be back there is actually going to be in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
I would have.
I thought you meant at the end of this month. I'm sorry. That's my bad.
No, it is. It's the Tough Enough title will be on October 25th, the same
Oh,
day.
I was thinking that as day of October. I was thinking Halloween night.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
okay. Okay.
100%. I know exactly what you're saying. No, the 25th, and it'll be good. I'll hit the morning. I'll watch UFC 321, and then I'll hit the town, hit Tough Enough, and it'll be good. I mean, I'm super excited. That card, it just got changed up a little bit. The main event is going to be
Okay.
Diego Brandao, who's been on a crazy run. He's like 40. He's going nuts. And now he's fighting Kai Kamaka.
By the way, for the OGs, Diego Brandao was the legendary name that got knocked out by Conor McGregor in Ireland. So to see that he's still doing his thing is pretty crazy.
No, 100%. And he's on a crazy win streak. So he was supposed to fight some Russian guy outside of Syndicate. He couldn't make it. So they called Kai Kamaka to fight for the title. That's the main event, 145 title. Co-main event.
That's a great fight.
Yeah, great fight. Co-main event. Guy's name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. It's a Eastern Asian champion. Okay. And Kenny Cross is fighting for that, the lightweight belt in the co-main event. And from what I've seen on Tapology, this is not confirmed, but this is what I've seen. My boy Eduardo Duda Pena, they also want in that card potentially for a third title fight for 135. So we will see what happens there.
Well, as someone who doesn't watch enough Tough Enough, that to me, you just sold me on the fact that might be the most stacked Tough Enough card in a really long time.
And it's at the Palms, and it's already almost sold out. It is going to be a packed house.
That's awesome. You're going to have a blast, and the access you're going to get, and I'm sure is unbelievable, just considering that there's probably not the craziest amount of demand from a media standpoint to cover that. You might so you might get lucky.
I have no expectations, but what I do know is I didn't ask them. They asked me. So we'll see what happens. And my
That's
thought is
all.
if they ask me, I think I'm going to be able to do some cool stuff out there.
Yeah, I would suspect for you to do so as well, and that should be a whole heck of a blast. So just kind of piggybacking off to your previous Vegas trip, we saw all the vlogs. Nick in here just gave you a really nice compliment. He said that you killed it with all of the content that's in the chat room to your
Thank
right.
you, Nick. I appreciate it. I was trying.
But besides all the videos, can you just kind of tell me like what your favorite part of the whole experience was, and just kind of how it felt to be back in Vegas for a major fight week? I know you said that the energy was a little bit dead as opposed to UFC 285 the last time you were in town. But can you just kind of tell me like where this UFC event ranks for you, considering that and you know it's pretty crazy. You and I both went into UFC 319. You went to UFC 320. So where does this rank for you?
Man, it's hard. It is hard. The whole week in general, I think my highlight was there was 3 highlights. And the first one was being able to go to Syndicate so often. I was there for 5 out of my 8 days in Vegas. I was there.
That is awesome.
I went from the airport straight to Syndicate when I landed, and I went from Syndicate straight to the airport when I left. And they
I don't think you could have ever dreamed about that a week ago, right?
No, I couldn't have, and they couldn't have been more nice, more welcoming, more hospitable, and just dealing with me like I'm just some guy that showed up interviewing people in their gym, and it was really cool. And just you will understand, you're an OG of the game. Joanne Calderwood is the lady who works or Joanne Wood now who works the front desk and helps run the gym.
Really?
So
Okay. Okay.
being able to see her every day, I was like, man, you rock.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Someone who's been in the game for a minute, I definitely know who Joanne Wood is, and it's cool to see that she's still giving back to MMA in different ways. She had a very, very interesting career, or to say the least. But I'm glad she's happy, and I'm glad that Syndicate is treating her well. That's really awesome.
No, and then the next one is because I was at Syndicate so much, on Monday, I was able to say our aforementioned Kenny Cross, he's the best, dude. Like, he couldn't be a nicer guy. I saw him on Monday, introduces me to a bunch of people. He introduces me to one of my favorite fighters of all time, Davey Grant. We get an interview set up for the next day. And then on Thursday, I'm in Syndicate interviewing Brandon Jenkins. And this was before we went over this at the last show, but we were leaving. As I was leaving, Kenny was leaving. He was like, I have an extra ticket for the weigh-ins. You know him, the golden tickets. And
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
got this. I got to spend Thursday afternoon with Marab's whole team, third row at the press conference, and I felt like a rock star. It was really cool.
Oh
And
yeah.
then,
Yeah.
and then
Absolutely.
you know
Sitting
the golden ticket.
sitting in those seats, regardless of what fight it is for a weigh-in, it'll make you feel really good. That's for that's for sure.
And you recognize everybody around you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
and the next, my favorite thing, obviously the UFC event. That's one of the best things. Like everybody knows that the event was crazy. But let me tell you, Power Slap in person. I'm a hater. I was a hater beforehand. I
Okay.
went in person. It is awesome. It is awesome.
Do I have to go? Oh, now is that what
You
you're
have man, you have to go. You have to. I don't understand. First of all, it's over in like 3 hours. It's real quick.
Okay.
And
It's
then
like Contender Series.
yep,
Okay.
exactly. And it's like I think what helped the experience is my friend Evan who lives in Vegas. He was helping me do camera work this week. He came with, and then I'm going to come to this later, but Nathan Rivera, one of his best friends and pro fighter Reese Baby Goose Watkins, he also came to Power Slap with us. So it was us 3 watching. The place in Fontainebleau was absolutely packed. It was loud. You saw the amount of you saw a bunch of fighters there. Like we saw Elijah Smith. I got to meet Mikey Musumeci. I got to meet a bunch of people. But the amount of influencers, a bunch of the guys you look at online and they're like, man, I hate you. The amount
Yeah.
of them that you see in person, you're like, wow, you're right there. I want to fight this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um Yeah, I mean, I saw your videos. I couldn't imagine how sick it was. I gotta say this. I'm essentially a hater myself, but oh my goodness, shout out to all the people in production because they make that thing on TV feel like you're right there. It's pretty cool.
It's awesome. And I never understood how they got the camera where it was. In the table, they've got two cameras pointing at each guy.
Okay,
So that's how
really,
they get it right up and personal because you can't see the cameras when you're in the crowd. There's
that's
one.
interesting. That's very interesting.
But
And then how did you and then I'm just curious, like how was the just like how was the food there? How was the overall vibe? Like what did you think?
so I don't know if this audience knows. I am broke as a joke. I am broke. Now, Las Vegas is very expensive, but the food was great. My go-to, I think what I ate In and Out probably 4 of my 8 days there
I
cuz
probably I probably would have too.
because it was right outside of my hotel, and a cheeseburger was $6. A Johnny Rockets cheeseburger on the strip was $26. And if you've ever been to Six Flags and been to Johnny Rockets, that shit is ass.
Yeah,
So,
it's not good. It's not good at all. And
so,
yes, I have been to Six Flags a number of times. So
so
yes, I
In
can
and Out,
relate.
big upgrade to that. The pizza was really good. They had a bunch of brick oven pizza places. I went to Yard House. I know that's here, but that was my first time going.
Did you like it?
Yeah, it was good.
By
It
the way,
reminded me of
based
like an
on
elevated Chili's.
By the way, a pro tip: based on the yard house you go to, it's not all of them, but it's some of them. But if you can find the right yard house, they show UFC every week. It just
Ooh.
depends on which ones. It's extremely limited. The one you went to, I don't think would have had it, but there are various ones that do. Just as a pro tip.
Hey, good to know. But the other thing, the last thing I just thought of that I would recommend to any person that's out there, and I wouldn't Uber because it would be expensive, but if you have a rental car or you know someone out there that has a car, go up to the Red Rocks, go on the scenic loop, go on a walk. It is stunning. It is
I
stunning
still
out
have
there.
to I still have to do that. It's the one that I did everything the last time I was there except for that.
I was I was gonna miss it because I wasn't able to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, and I had to turn in my car at 10 a.m. on Friday. And now,
Okay.
like, I need to. I love the mountains. We live in Illinois. We have nothing. It's as flat as this table that my computer's on.
Same with my table.
But so I woke up at 5 a.m. nice and early, and I was like, I'm getting over to Red Rocks, and I hit a buzzer beater turning it in. I made it to the rental car at 9:47.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Um, but yeah, just the overall fight night experience getting to Saturday, though, kind of picking back to my original question, like where does it rank for you? How did you feel being in the building? You sir do it just like I do, where I always show up for the first prelim too. You did it right. So
Yeah, I would. I, I don't know where I'd rank this overall, but I have a tendency to say middle of the pack for me because
because
I think
how many has it been for you so far
because
that
I've
you've
been to
been
one fight night and then 278, 285, 291, 319, 320.
okay?
So I'd say two. Because the last four have all been so good for different reasons. Like I'd say 278's the worst one, but it had the best moment.
Yeah, you were lucky to be there for that viral moment at the end of the night.
Yeah, like I think the whole card overall was bad, but then the co-main event and main event were awesome.
Right,
And
exactly.
then 285 just was fantastic the whole way. 285 is my favorite experience, but I got treated differently for that fight. You know what I mean? So I feel like that you have to take that out of the equation. So
When you say you got treated differently, can you be more specific?
I my uncle was able to do something very cool for me and my grandfather and my friend and his father where we got an awesome hotel for free. We had like ringside seats for free. We got to go in the octagon after. Like that's an experience that I don't think I'll have again unless I'm working for the UFC. So
Right,
with that all, I think that taints how good it is. But 285 itself was still an awesome card.
fair enough. And then considering you went to UFC 319, where does that rank for you? Given it was the first event back in our home state in 6 years.
I think 319 was the better event overall. I think it was the
Okay,
better event overall. But I think 320, I think what happened in those 7 fights, like I think the back-to-back spinning elbows of 319 maybe the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I've never seen anything like it in person or on TV. I couldn't believe it.
That's what I'm saying. It's like 1 in a billion, like insane. But the 7-fight streak at 320, starting with Daniel Santos to Yu Wang Yu or whatever that guy's name is,
Yeah, Ju
to
saying you.
Ju Sang Yu, to Ateba, to Piper, to Zalal, my freaking guy. I couldn't have been. That's another thing. Yusuf winning was so fun. To Yuri versus Khalil, the best round of MMA I've ever seen in my life. To Marab versus Corey being, I got to see the greatest bantamweight of all time fight. To Alex Pereira dominating Ankalaev, who I hate. So it was just emotionally, it was awesome.
You are such a lucky son of a gun that you got to see Alex Pereira before I did. Because
This time too.
no, true, but you know what still bums me out. Even I can say this now because it's already over. That was the before it was officially announced that they were going in the direction of DDP Jemayev. That was the rumored main event for Chicago was Pereira Ankalaev before they moved it.
Yep.
So you got to see it anyway.
I got to see it anyway. No, I was thrilled. It was just like Chicago, I think, was cooler overall. Like I think the fight week was way better. I think the vibe of the city was way better.
The
I
fight
think
week, the fight week was crazy. I mean, everything. Like I still think about it, and it's been over a month and a half since the event, and I still think to this day that that whole week felt like it was just an entire movie. That's what it felt like.
I agree. It was like the whole week was insane. It was like the press conference was as full as a press conference has ever been. The weigh-ins is as full as the weigh-ins has ever been. No matter where you were in the city, you knew it was UFC fight week, and the people were amped about it.
People were so excited.
And then when the event time came, there were finishes throughout the entire card. The only negative about that card was the main event.
Absolutely.
Everything else on that card was awesome. But the thing about 320 for me was I've interviewed Yusuf Zalal 3 times. He was my first UFC fighter I'd ever interviewed. We
Okay.
interviewed right before this fight. We had Yuri versus Khalil, who I have met both of them. I was with Khalil this week. I was with Yuri's team this week. They were both as nice as they can be, and that was a war. In the co-main event, I love Corey, and Marab treated me like it's so nice this week. So
That's
it's awesome to see Marab win. And then in the main event, I freaking hate Ank, and Alex Pereira is the best champion in the UFC right now for
my
excitement.
guy. There we go. That's what we like to hear. Let's
And
go.
he, in my opinion, is the greatest light heavyweight of all time, and he got it done, and he's the best. And the reason I say that is because I don't believe that steroid cheats and wife beaters deserve to be on that list. And if Daniel Cormier were the arguable second, he has not done what Alex Pereira has done at lightweight. I don't care about or light heavyweight. I don't care about the losses, about what he does after the losses. He is the GOAT.
That is a bold take that I think a lot of people could debate you on for hours. Now that we're on the topic of events, I'll just put it out there because I haven't had a chance to say how I feel about my event list yet. But when I was ranking all the events that I've been to, the most recent one being UFC 319, I put it at number 2 because I don't know what will ever top being in a Las Vegas fight week featuring McGregor. Just don't see how you can't put at number 1. So UFC 319, at least on my personal list of the 14 shows I've been to, will always be number 2.
I think with my list, I think I came up with it while we were doing this. I think from bottom to top, it goes Blaze Dawkins, goes 278, goes 291, and I think that shows how lucky I've been because 291 was incredible.
Yeah, you were lucky. That's for damn sure.
320, 319, 285. 285 is the best one.
That's a pretty solid list. In terms of the actual fights themselves, though, switching over to the main event a little bit, were you surprised with how quickly Pereira was able to win? Because I said it on this program last week. I said it on my own personal podcast as well that I thought Pereira would win, but I thought it would take him an extra round to do so, and he did that in 80 seconds. I couldn't believe it. As soon as he hit him, I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, here we go.
I hate Ankalaev, and I was picking him all week. I thought he was going to get the job done. And tell me if I'm wrong, but I've talked to a lot of people. I've seen YouTube videos of them saying the same thing. The first second of that fight, you knew Alex was going to win. The
That's what
first
I that's
second.
what I that's what I thought too. I'm like oh shit, this is a different fight.
Instantly, the way he came across, hit him in the freaking mouth, and made sure he was on the back foot instantly. It was like, oh, Ank screwed. It
Yeah,
felt, and like, I don't, MMA guru, controversial figure, but I saw this on Twitter and I couldn't agree more. It felt like Alex Pereira was twice the size in this fight. It looked like he had grown to like 7'5" and he was this crazy, not because he was, but like the energy he brought, it made Ank look small. He scurried away, and the first time he got hit, he fell
well
over
said.
and curled into a
Well
ball.
said. Absolutely. And just to me, like it just felt like even though it was such a short fight, it just simply felt like Ankalaev wasn't ready to go. And then it comes out later that he injured his rib, and it's like, geez, like I don't I mean, I just don't. Obviously, we'll never know, but I just don't understand how that was not compensated or like it's or it gets confiscated sooner than what it was, because that did not that looked like a pretty brutal injury, and I thought it was extremely crazy that he fought with that.
I don't blame Ankalaev because what's he gonna do? Like, he wants to fight, but his management and his team and all that, I don't know how you could let him fight, because what just happened? If he would have fought and it would have been round 2, round 3, round 4, round 5, and it would have been close, everybody would have been demanding for a rematch. But that was the worst possible outcome. Instantly getting folded. He is not getting a rematch off of that. So
No,
it's like you
no,
send
I
him
don't
in
think
there
so
like a
either.
wounded bird.
No, I don't think so either. I think it. So I've been debating with tons of people about this. I need your opinion on this because now I haven't spoken to you really in full since the fight. What do you think? You think Prohaska gets it, or do you think Alberg gets the next title shot, or do you think they fight each other to determine who the number one contenders? Which is what I personally want to. Which is what I personally want to see.
I think we have the same idea, different outcome. I think what happens is they put Alex on the shelf, and God forbid, please, Tom Aspinall beats Cyril Gahn. Main event of the White House is going to be Alex Pereira for the Tom Aspinall for the heavyweight title, with a co-main event or another fight, interim title, Carlos Ulberg versus Yuri Prohaska. Winner gets Alex when he comes back.
So what? So I guess my follow up to that is who or what is going to convince Big Boss, if you will, that for moving up to heavyweight is finally a good idea, because he's still super resistant about it. He doesn't want to do it.
He
He
doesn't
doesn't want
want to
to.
do it, but if you listen closely, he said, for what Alex has done for the company, if this is what he wants, we'll do it. And if Alex wants it, he's going to get it. Because we
Very good.
also know Tom Aspinall will take that fight like that because he thinks he could take him down and finish him easy, which I think would happen, but who knows?
It's true. Nobody really knows you're 100% right. Kind of sticking on a similar wave here, because I have to ask you, Marab. He wants to be Mr. Active. He wants to fight in December. I'm Hey, if he's 100% and they need a main event, I think they should. I think they should do it.
I think chill. Marab, chill. Marab, take a minute and chill. Fight in February or January on the Paramount card for Peter Yan, and we're good. We don't need it. We don't need it in December.
You don't think it would be cool for him to change UFC history? The first fighter to defend his belt 4 times in 1 year. You wouldn't want to see that?
I do want to see it, but it's just like, be smart. Let's be smart.
Okay,
Let's
Jack.
chill.
Jack, but realistically, are we really all that excited for Pantoja versus Van to headline the final ESPN Plus pay per view ever? Are
That
we?
ain't headlining. That ain't headlining.
So well, it's Well, then what are their what are their options then? That's my that's my question to you.
My
What are we not thinking about?
Volkanovski will be fighting for the main event on that card. Against who, we don't know yet, but it's either going to be Lerone Murphy, Diego Lopez, or Movsar Evloev.
Well, I think you can put Mo sort of way out of the equation because he hasn't had a finish yet. Um, Diego Lopez, I think needs one more fight because he just fought for the title. I think his win over Silva was good, but I don't think him rushing back into a rematch is smart. I think Lerone Murphy is the right fight. That's what I
I
think.
think Movsar deserves it, and the reason I am pushing for a Movsar fight is because I think Volk is the only one who beats him, and I think Volk does it fairly easily. And then I think that's a way he can retire on top while beating a Russian, like close the storyline. However, I agree Lerone can do it. I just, as cool as Lerone is, and as good as that spinning elbow was, I'll never forget that Gabe Santos beat him, and
Oh yeah.
it just didn't count. And I'm like, man, that's tough. But I think that happens. I'm personally super excited for Pantoja versus Josh Van, but I don't know about everybody else.
No, I'm excited for it. I this is no disrespect. I just don't think it's main event worthy. I
I
don't
just don't think they care. I think it's the last one. Who cares how it performs?
okay.
And the
Okay.
other reason is because, like you said, and everybody's saying February will be in Perth again. I don't think that really matters to Volk. Would it be super cool that he retires in Perth? Yes. However, what can happen, and which I think might happen, is that the UFC likes to gamble. So I think what they do is if Tom Aspinall beats Cyril Gahn, I think that they keep Aspinall on the sideline till White House. I think with this win, I think they're going to do a main event in February in Perth of Pereira versus Olberg,
Which
which
is what I would like to see
I want to
personally.
see that fight, but I want Alex to fight Tom more. So I'd say put them both on the sideline. But I think it's going to be Alex versus Olberg in February. I think it's going to be Yuri versus Ankalaev at some point. I think it's going to be Roundtree versus like Mirzakhanov or something like that now because he's 1-2 in his last two, both by vicious knockout. It's just, I think light heavyweight's in a fun place right now.
Yeah, light heavyweight is certainly in a better place than what it has been over the last several years. Just kind of speeding things up with two topics that kind of relate to one another. The first one being that there was news that is broken now within the last, I would say, hour and a half, that Conor McGregor is going to be suspended retroactive until the end of March. I'm just going to give my 2 cents on this. This really means nothing other than the fact that he's basically out until the White House card, and if he doesn't come back on the White House card, we're never seeing him again. It's that's what I that's what I think. I'm not buying too much stock into it. Yeah, he did forget to report his whereabouts 3 times, but at the same time, it's basically just a legal way of saying that he's simply going to be inactive for a little bit longer, and that's that's how I'm viewing it. I understand it's super layman's terms. Some people think that he's bending the system. I don't know if I'm willing to go that far. What I am telling you though is this is just another extended break, and I think that's partially why he decided within the last 2 days that he was going to go dark online because he knew that this was going to come out, and sure enough, it did. And of course, the UFC isn't going to do anything about it because they're looking at that March date, going, "Oh, March, that's only 3 months away from when he could potentially headline the White House card. So as long as we can keep him shelved and healthy until then, that's all they're worried about. At least at least that's how I view it. I could be very wrong in saying half of what I just said, but that's kind of how I see that.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. And I think also what people are misconstruing this with, like, obviously we think Conor McGregor's done steroids, all that. But this suspension is not that. He was not caught taking steroids. He was not caught taking anything. This was simply him not sending not USADA his location. Like he was probably on vacation somewhere and he was like, hey, we need to know where you are. And he just didn't tell him.
Yeah, technically it's the Combat Sports Anti-Doping Agency is what it's now called because
That's
they're no longer
not,
with USADA
not
anymore.
USADA.
But yeah, and then speaking of that, it comes out within the last day, 2 days, however long it's been now, that the date of the White House card is going to apparently be on a Sunday, and there's certain significance as to why it's going to be on a Sunday. What was your initial reaction when you saw that?
Hell yeah. I'm cool with it. A Sunday, a Sunday White House card that probably starts at like noon. Like it'll probably be awesome.
Yeah, I'm not really. I don't remember the last time they did a show on a Sunday, but I think it has a chance to be really interesting.
I'm
Um,
pumped. It's because there's no football going on at that point, and Sunday's owned by football.
and
There's no
and
sports.
and also it's his 80th birthday too.
Yeah, but
Hmm.
I'm saying like if it was an NFL Sunday, they wouldn't be doing it. Let me tell you that.
Right, right.
But
So, oh,
I think
sorry.
it's fun. I'm
Continue
excited
what you were
for
saying.
it.
You're excited for it?
And I also know a matchup that they want to make for that card. They are setting up Peyton Talbot versus Malcolm Wellmaker for the White House. Both have fights, both got offered fights, and if they both win, they're getting matched up against each other. I wish I could tell you who they were, but I can't. What I can tell you is that Peyton Talbot accepted matchups versus Marcus McGee and Kyler Phillips. Marcus McGee said no. Kyler Phillips said yes and got hurt.
Okay. So that's the scenario. If they win their two respective fights, they'll fight each other at the White House.
That's the plan.
Okay. So that's at least one fight we know is potentially in the works. So that's good to see.
And a
I'm
fun one, too.
And I'm just curious. While we're sitting here and we have a few minutes, if you had your dream five-fight White House main card, knowing that we know what the date tentatively is going to be, if you were playing matchmaker, Jack, who would be your five leading fights for the most dream main card we've ever seen? What would you do?
I think main event would be Alex versus Tom.
Okay.
I think co-main event should be. I'm not even below this. They could be in any order. I don't know how they'll do it if McGregor comes back, but I'd say McGregor.
I I'm just gonna give you a caveat. I don't think McGregor's competing on it unless he's guaranteed the main event.
I agree too, and I don't like that.
I
But
don't I don't I don't disagree, but continue.
my dream
Continue.
card would be that in the main event. McGregor Chandler at 170 in the co-main event. I'd love to see like a woman super fight. I'd love to see like Nunes versus Kayla on there. Just hold them off until June.
That would make a whole lot of sense.
I would like to see. I would like to see if Tom went up. I'd like to see that Yuri versus Oberg interim title on that card because that's a guaranteed fun one. And
But
then
my question would be, Jack, are you sure you really need an interim title for that? I don't think you do.
I don't think you do, but what I know about the UFC, and I'm sure you do as well, they like making up titles for no reason other than money. So if there's an opportunity to do it, I think they do it. So you throw a title on there, that's four. Like I think if McGregor fights, they're gonna come up with a fake like Legends title or some shit like that. Pardon my language, something like that.
Okay.
And so there'd be four titles, and then feature or main card opener Talbot versus Wellmaker, or no, main card opener Justin Gaethje versus who do I want to? Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker, opener of the pay-per-view main card.
Is
So
this
you
is this assuming Gagey loses to Taporia?
doesn't really matter, but yes, he's
Oh,
gonna lose to Topuria. But I think main card opener Gaethje versus Hooker, Yuri versus Alberg, Kayla versus Nunes, uh, McGregor versus Chandler, Alex versus Tom.
okay, so I have it a little bit different than you. I understand you're riding the Pereira Aspinall train. I don't think it's going to happen. So the main event is going to be McGregor versus Chandler. The co-main event for the undisputed UFC heavyweight title, Tom Aspinall versus John Jones. They finally get it done. I gotta
You
be
think
I gotta be an optimist here.
so?
The
You're
board,
saying I'm crazy doing Alex versus Tom, but you're having John Jones come back?
Yeah, absolutely. We got to be optimistic. To me, and I'm sure you'll disagree with me, but to me, that's a bigger fight than the one you just said. It's what
I don't like putting wife beaters and steroid cheats on a pedestal.
Fair enough. I'm just saying from
He
a
doesn't deserve it.
I'm just saying when you look at the numbers and the overall accomplishments, it's a bigger fight.
I disagree because, and I hate to interrupt you, but I disagree heavily because when has John Jones had an exciting fight in the last 5 years? Never. When has Alex Pereira had an exciting fight in the last? Oh, all of them. Every single one's been fun. What about Tom Aspinall? Oh wait, every single one's been fun. So are you gonna put some stinky freaking cheat wife beater in that thing who has a boring fight? Or are you gonna have the man who came out from his problems, is a good father, a knockout king, goat of his division, versus Tom Aspinall, potentially the greatest of all time? Continue. My bad.
Hey, I'm just telling you, this is my this is my mock main card, and this is ideally who I would want. Then in the fight before the co-main event, you do Colby Covington versus Ian Gary. That's a that's a fight. That's a fight that's been brewing for a long time.
Man, I hate this.
You hate this. Okay. And then and then and then in the second to last fight before the main card opener, you do Leon Edwards versus Jorge Masvidal, and then you open the card with your ideal dream fight, Peyton Talbot versus Malcolm Wellmaker.
I like it. I like Masvidal Leon. I like Wellmaker Talbot. I like McGregor Chandler. But that's it.
It could be McGregor Chandler or McGregor versus Diaz. Either one.
See, my problem with all of everybody's, not just yours, of everybody being like, oh, McGregor main event with Nate or Michael Chandler, and it's like, yes, is that a big fight? But it's like, we're having the biggest card of all time, and we have the best athletes we've ever had at heavyweight, at everywhere. We've got goats of all over, and we're putting on two washed unks in the main event, no matter who it is. Like,
No,
Connor's washed, Chandler's washed, Nate's washed.
I completely get it. But I semi still want to see the UFC of their Pacquiao Mayweather moment, and that would be the one. So
I guess.
But don't be surprised if they don't go with anything I just said. It's complete.
Same with me. Different. I just want the main event to be guys who will have more fights in the UFC, I guess.
And I'm gonna make a bold prediction right now that I don't think Sean O'Malley is gonna be a part of the card.
I don't think so either. If I had to guess 5 guys who were gonna be on the card, I'd say Malcolm Wellmaker. Okay. I'd say Sean Strickland in the prelims. I'd say Colby Covington in the prelims.
Sean Strickland is definitely fighting on the prelims, 100%.
Yep. I think Colby on the prelims.
Okay.
I think Jorge, if he's coming back, this is the card.
Okay.
And I think Cejudo is going to be on this card.
Really? I think Cejudo's done. I don't think he should be fighting anymore.
I can guarantee you he's not done because he just accepted a fight offer. Again, I wish I could tell you who it was.
Okay.
But that's the fight. He's got a fight offer.
Okay. And does it have any sort? Obviously, I'm not asking for the opponent, but does it have any sort of specifics around it that you can maybe hint at?
I would say that Henry they're trying to use him as a stepping stone versus someone we may or may not have talked about this episode.
Okay. Interesting.
So we'll have to see.
Okay. And obviously, it's not targeted for any sort of event at the moment, right? Or is it?
December.
Oh, shit. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
So we'll see.
Okay. And I have to ask, because I have to know, do you think the winner of the Weili Valentina fight has a chance to potentially be on the White House card too, or probably not?
It would be pretty funny if Weili was on it.
Yeah, it'd be kind of weird.
I love Weili. I'm not trying to be political here, but it would be kind of funny being like, we're at the White House for the American card, and the best Chinese fighter of all time is in the co-main event.
I think Macy Barber is going to be on the prelims.
God, I hate Macy Barber, but I agree. I think she'll be on that card.
Why do you hate Macy Barber?
She just...
What do you have against her?
I wish I could curse, man. She's just like
You can. It doesn't matter.
she's just a bitch. She's just mean. She's a boring fighter. She can't make it to fights. She has health issues, which I guess aren't her fault.
She definitely isn't the same Macy Barber that she was when she was 21. I'll
Yeah,
give
she's
her.
got health issues, so it's screwed up her fighting, but more even just as a person, I've heard many stories of her being a dick. I've seen many stories of her. I've seen many videos of her being a dick. She's just not my favorite fighter in the UFC. And I love it when fighters go are throwing combos from 10 feet away because I'm like, oh, they're doing the Macy Barber.
That is low key funny. I'll give you that. But
But
yeah,
she'll be on the card, I bet you.
But I think either way, though, our whiteouts projections are pretty decent. And just given that we do have a few more minutes until the top of the hour, what is one fight on Dana White Contender Series tonight that you're looking forward to the most? And by the way, I don't know how you did, but I went 4-1 and did a really nice bounce back this past week. So I'm feeling pretty good.
I'm unsure. I think I did pretty well. But my fight of the night and just lock of the night and favorite fighter to watch of the night is Luke Fernandez from Fury. He's grown. He went from the minus 500 favorite to a minus 1100 favorite, but he's gonna school on this dude. He's really good.
I think so too. I think he can win by whatever method he wants.
I think it's gonna be either a knockout or a club and sub into something. But last week I went 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 4-1. So the only loss I had was Magno Diaz versus Luis Jourdain. I had Chris Alvarez winning.
Okay, well, I think I lost in a different fight. Let me triple check that. But yeah, that's solid. I'm curious.
I would bet you lost on Cubanza. Everybody was on Cubanza.
I think I did. I'm double checking though. I'm almost positive that you're right though.
Because Alvidrez is like plus 300.
What does that put you for the season? I'm 12 above 500.
I have no idea. I have no idea. But better than I was. I was on a rough patch. But before we go, I want to say this because we've got viewers everywhere. November 1st at the Soaring Eagle Casino, BKFC, friend of the program, Nathan the Reaper Rivera versus former title challenger Tommy Stridham is in the feature fight of the night. Either show up in Michigan, buy it on the BKFC app. Nathan Rivera is the best in the world, and he's going to show you why.
Should be a fun one. Yeah, Cubanza was the one that I did lose, to clarify. So, overall, it was a solid episode. I'm excited to preview UFC Rio with you on Thursday, assuming that no crazy fights fall out or anything. Should be a solid main event. Any final words before we wrap it up here this afternoon? You got anything?
I'm just grateful to have had an awesome week. I'm happy to be home. I'm happy to be rocking and rolling back with the ETB network and the MMA Outsiders, and I'm excited for Thursday and this weekend.
Yeah, I'm excited for Thursday and this weekend as well. It was really, really awesome to hear about all your travel experiences. It was fun to talk about some of the fights with you and enjoy watching Dana White Contender Series tonight because you better believe that regardless of who's fighting, it's more than likely going to be entertaining. So,
heck yeah, dude.
All right. Hey, Jack, we have a good one. We will see you all on Thursday. And just as a final quick reminder before we get out of here, because we can't forget our good friends over at Novik. Novik has been good to us so far. There are new commercial betting sponsor for the entire ETB network. So just really, really, really quick, let's get this out of the way. That way they get their plug, at least for this episode, before we move into the rest of the week. So here we go. So the MMA Outsiders is powered by Novik, America's #1 sports prediction market, available right now in 35 states, including California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, and New York. On Novik, you're 10 times more likely to win the long term compared to a traditional sports book because you're playing against real users and not just the house. Sign up today and use the promo code ETB Network. That is ETBNETWORK for exclusive bonuses. Must be 21 years or older to play, and please gamble responsibly. For everybody at the ETB Network, I'm San Bando. He's Jack Gold. This has been the MMA Outsiders episode 132. We will catch you all on Thursday. Have a good one. Cheers.